guys, welcome to Nimo's Corner, where we ask art professionals difficult questions like, how do artists get a job?
So for season 3, episode 1, Nimo's question would be, how can AI affect professional artists? Today, we are joined by a freelance editor, illustrator, and animator who has been working for 15 years and counting. Please welcome Sir Neil Adrelim.
Hello.
So, I'm Jabby.
I'm Ade, and this is Nimo's Corner, Season 3, Episode 1.
So, graphic here.
So, Jabby, today's theme is Dungeons and Dragons, right?
Oh, so magda-dice tayo?
Yeah, I think so. Wait, speaking of dice, much like dance, artists' job stability is quite unpredictable, aren't they?
Diba, sir?
Yeah.
Because especially na may AI na,
Oh, it's really popular in this day and age.
isn't it? So, sir, since popular na yung AI, what are your thoughts on generative AI?
Okay. Well, we're really jumping ahead of it kaagad. Pero before that, so as I said before the shoot, parang hindi boring ang ating podcast. Mag-hot ones tayo.
I dropped my card.
So we all take one. So it's on levels lang, based on your questions. And the first question is actually, what are your thoughts on generative AI? Okay, sige. Ito lang. Kain muna tayo.
Okay.
Bilis lang to. So we'll start with the most basic one. But while I'm setting this up, so my thoughts on Gen AI, it varies from use cases. Okay. What?
Dari, I put my gloves up for
Hey, you don't need your gloves. Okay ka.
Okay.
Kakabahan ka, no?
Medyo.
Relax ka lang.
I never get nervous.
Mother's base.
Except
Hindi siya ganun ka-spicy. Sakto lang siya.
I never get nervous.
Really?
Yeah.
So how, do we just eat it?
Yeah, that's it.
Hindi, bawal makainin.
Bawal mo kayo din. For show lang talaga siya. Anyway, my thoughts on Gen AI, it varies. So, to be honest, in different industries, AI is being used even before its boom. So, when you use Photoshop, when you do like selections and stuff, when you do that, you select the person and image, you're changing things, that's already kind of like AI. Hindi nga siya spicy. Anyway, so my thoughts on it, like especially in today's industry. Yes, we use it, but we use it to help aid in the creative process instead. So, like when we have to make concept work, briefs na mabilisan, we really have to use AI. Because, creative work is not just about creating things now. Especially if you're working now, it's more problem solving.
Yeah.
Timelines are too short. Budgets are too short. So you really have to have a tool to help you really. But my thoughts on it being used as final product, that's where I kind of draw the line. You can't really use it as final product, but you can use it as a tool to help you come up with better ideas or show your concepts better. Yes. Saya.
Where I put the bowl?
Can I have one?
Kulang, grabe.
Yeah, I love spicy.
Lagay mo na muna dito.
So, ayun. Yung mention niyo po na ginagamit niyo pala po, the industry, the animation industry to be specific, has been using AI in pre-prod, right?
Well, not just pre-prod. I mean, even when doing rotoscope, you have to use certain AI tools now to help you do it faster. Rotoscope is so tedious, Selecting out the person. So I'm not sure if you guys have experienced it when you have to roto out a person
It's
out of a scene. So before, that used to be a repetitive task. A guy, you call them backroom artists. You hire backroom artists to essentially roto out things. Dirt, facial things. Kunwari, gusto natin tanggalin tong sauce na to. We have to get a guy to remove that and to clear it out. That was so hard to do before. But now we can just easily select it, and we can tell After Effects or whatever program you're using to remove it. And it saves so much time. So it reduces a lot of repetitive work. Sure, there are some jobs that will be affected, but a lot of these backroom artists, they can easily transition to becoming either VFX artists or editors instead. So it's not a total loss naman.
Nice.
As an artist, do you think generative AI helps or hinders creativity?
Depends on how you use it. I know some artists, they use it to help streamline ideas or present unique perspectives. But my partners tell me it's parang may kabatuhan ka sa ideas. So you have someone to talk to or someone to verify, okay ba idea ko? Or to give me more ideas. Because sometimes it's really hard to look for references, diba? Sometimes you keep looking, it doesn't really hit right. But if you have AI, it can really help you look for the right references. So, mas mabilis yung process mo. Really. That I will reiterate, do not use it as final work.
Yes.
It's not really the best look. Although some companies do use it for final work, hindi siya kasing maganda. You still need a whole lot of people to help make the work better. You need art directors, you need directors, you need producers. Which is like the set, diba? Sure, it's a simple shoot, pero marami kayong working on it. Diba?
Yes.
But we're aided by our tablets, our sound guys. I mean,
Yeah.
So yeah.
Speaking of which, do you think AI can affect an artist's confidence? Kasi yun nga, because of AI's popularity in after.
Minsan ba ako sabihin ng artist, oh my gosh, compared to AI, my work looking ugly.
I mean, why compare yourself to a machine, diba? You should improve on your own terms. You shouldn't really compare yourself to a machine.
Pero what if, sir, may nag-comment, oh, this looks AI.
Well, medyo masakit pakinggan yun, honestly. But at least you are known of the fact na at least my work looks somewhat to a certain level. But when they tell you that, at least now you can easily adjust. You know, AI can only work if you give it specific commands. It can't really work without you typing onto it. Good. So don't get discouraged. Still keep honing your craft.
So yun nga, sir, in your opinion, do you see generative AI as more of a tool or a replacement?
Okay. You have to take the next sauce in a bit. It's medyo naging mahirap na question natin. Maybe after this question. Anyway, so in my opinion, do I see it as a tool or a replacement? It is mostly a tool, although we have to be aware of the fact some repetitive jobs, it will be AI na talaga. It's hard to avoid. But the more creative things, the non-repetitive tasks, the non-negotiable, it will still stay. AI can't really predict how to solve client problems. Kasi, for example, you have like a commercial shoot. AI can only do so much. It can't really solve, clients' indecisions. Hindi pwede yun eh. You need a person. You need a person there to solve the problem. Yeah.
Cannot replicate my beauty.
Well, anyway. So yeah, for me, it's more of a tool. Like up to this point, it's a tool. But who knows? Maybe one day, we'll all be replaced by machines. But right now, it's not looking like it talaga. Like, okay, have you guys seen like? There was this guy who's bragging. It's like, oh, I made this whole movie.
Oh yeah.
AI. It was like a 2-hour
I saw
movie.
that.
It wasn't great, diba?
Yeah, also so bad.
Because
It's so still.
It was only made by a singular vision. Siya. And the AI. And hindi rin siya creative eh. So he doesn't really know what to look for. How to art direct it, what are the right shots, how to tell the proper story. So, for you guys as students, not only should you learn how to be better artists, but you also have to learn how to look at things better. How
From different perspectives.
no, like essentially how to direct art better.
Oh.
Like, what's a good shot? What's a good composition? Is the colors correct? Is the story making sense? The shot size is appropriate for this because AI can only do so much. It will only give you what you feed it.
So speaking of the industry, have they used generative AI to streamline the animation process other than pre-prod, as you mentioned, and during production in rotoscope?
Well, it goes through all industries and kasi, admittedly, yes, it does streamline the process. Especially for me, from my experience before. Yung pinaka-experience ko kasi is rotoscoping. That's the starter job kung editor ka. You rotoscope people, you rotoscope things out. I remember before my friend, minito niya sa akin, pwede ba magmura dito? Hindi pwede, no?
We're gonna blur it out.
So he was telling me his first roto job was for an indie film. Kailangan niyang i-edit yung... sige, sabihin ko na lang. No, it's not that. He had to edit out a stream of pee. So, paano maroroto yun, diba? So, by hand yun talaga. Unlike now, it's kind of easier. There are third-party tools. There's devs who make it. And this is also powered by, certain AI machine learning things. You also have to be aware there are different kinds of AI. There's machine learning, there's generative, there's GANs.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things. But I think the main contention yata for this topic is
generative.
AI, yeah.
With AI being free of public use and its popularity within the general public, how might AI art alter the financial stability of human artists?
Oh. Well, that's a good question.
They're gonna take our jobs.
Yeah.
No, they're not. Well, if you do not learn how to adapt to the tools, you'll probably be left behind. I know I have friends who don't really want to integrate it into work right now. And that's okay. That's their choice. That's fine. As long as you can keep up. But a person who can use it in tandem with their current work and their current skill will always be prioritized over someone who can't really use it. And to be honest, these AI tools are super easy to pick up. You don't really need to go to school for it. But what you need to go to school for when learning these things is essentially the ethics, what tools to use, how to use them, when to use them. Yeah. So hopefully in the future, we'll be able to teach that to you guys. But yeah, right now, you may not know it, but you are already using AI.
Yeah, but
It's not something foreign. It's just that you're not aware of it lang. Yeah, so what is it? But
I don't want AI to be integrated into the school.
well, the AI integration in the school naman, it doesn't mean that we're going to use AI to teach you to generate artwork. It's not like that. When we still teach you core things like anatomy, life draw, you still have to draw it. Hindi naman pwedeng na, generate mo yung life draw mo. Saling ka ni Sir Pat. Diba? It's not like that. It's mostly more about
How to use it.
how to brainstorm, how to fix your grammar. I know some of our students were not really the righty kind of people. We're not very academically into writing. So use a Grammarly to help fix the sentence structure. Use a Grammarly to help you structure your things or help you think about how your Animotion is going to be. It's not allowed naman.
Love grammar.
And we tell you naman you can use Grammarly to help you structure your paper better.
Basta hindi ChatGPT.
Basta hindi ChatGPT. Grammarly is also linked to Chat.
Yeah, I like Grammarly. Grammarly.
But like if your plates require you to draw, your thesis requires you to animate, you better do the animation and the drawing. But if your plates doesn't really require you to draw or anything, maybe you can have some useful tools. I think our school already has an available AI policy there are certain levels of usage, but I forgot what they are entirely. The funny thing that the paper me and Sir Cheetah is writing about. So there's level 1, level 2, level 3. So we have existing policies. And right now, it still depends on your instructor on what level it will be. So for some instructors in paper writing classes, you have to cite you're using it. What degree to help you write it, fix the grammar, ganun. Right now, in the top of my mind, it's usually just the writing classes. But for more creative classes, I don't really see a lot of it being used. Unless though, let's say you're doing web development. It's hard to get content for your website. So maybe you can use stock muna. You can use some AI-generated text for a while. Just to help you build the website. Diba?
And like the framework.
And not necessarily the framework, but the content of the website. So you can ask ChatGPT, help me write content for my school website. And it's just to help you structure the website. Diba?
So, tapos
But
don't have the time.
Yeah, but the core thing that you're learning in your web classes is how to make a website, but not write content, diba? So you can have that to help you. As long as the core of what you're learning is not affected by AI, then it's okay naman. But again, I will reiterate, I don't want seeing it kasi if you're doing character design classes, gawin nyo naman yung character design nyo na kayo mag-drawing. You can use AI to help you get references or use it to help you find visual languages or whatnot. But you have to physically do the drawing. Have to do the thinking.
Ay, ba't ka pa nagbayad ng tuition kapag may ka namang drawing, di ba?
Ayun nga, since you mentioned that we still need to know our course.
Yeah.
Our fundamentals. A big defense of people who #love AI is that AI is making art more accessible for everyone. So what are your thoughts on that statement?
Well, accessibility depends on how you're defining accessibility. Is the person blind?
Yeah, perhaps.
Then I guess that's okay. But for some kasi, they would use accessibility minsan as an excuse lang to say na they made it and they don't really have skill.
Yun nga.
But yeah, we have to still accept the fact that there are people like that. And let's not discount naman rin their experience. If that's the way they want to create, then I guess that's the way they create it. But we still have to respect the process because as artists we are more knowledgeable than someone who doesn't know how to do it. For some, it's just a click of a button. For us, it's like hours and hours of work. So I think to make this more fair, we really have to try and reach out, be more, we help them understand what the process is like. Even to our, in our clients, most of our clients, they don't really know how the process works. They think like our job is so easy. Like, drawing ka lang, shoot ka lang, dali lang yun. Masaya naman yun, diba? But they don't really understand kasi.
The thought process.
So, yun yeah. I think it has to be a two-way street. We have to show them how we do it. And at the same time, we have to understand how they do their things, right? It is only through proper discourse that we can essentially make it more useful. So, based on sa readings ko, there was this guy saying we have to have a participatory approach when creating or crafting AI policy. So we have to include all the stakeholders, marketers, clients, creatives, so we all understand what it takes to really create something. May it be AI or not. Yeah.
So, kunwari, dun po sa mga mass ads po, like in SM, the one where they showing the,
Yeah. I'm not a fan of those two.
There's only. So what are your thoughts on, AI
Good.
and the general public's like perception of it? Does it make anything look more cheap for them, do you think?
Well,
Does it remove the credibility of a company?
well, when you think about AI-generated ads, don't think of, ito kasi yung commercial aspect nun eh. Kasi for us, we kind of have a knowledge of what nice is. We have a knowledge of what's pleasing to us. But for their market kasi, so SM kasi yun eh. So sino ang market lang ng SM?
The general public, mga nag-SM.
So nasa, di ba?
Yeah.
So they don't really understand what is appropriate, what is nice to see. But they understand what is what resonates with them. A happy image. They don't care how it's made, but they care how it's communicated to them. So you have to really, you have to put yourself in their shoes. Like, as designers, we don't like it. It's not pretty. It looks weird. But for the people who will consume it, it's targeted to them, they understand it. And if it communicates clearly, what's wrong with that, though? Okay, but at the same time, it's a bit tragic na they would do that. They would use full generated images as a running ad. It's not nice, but again, think of it in the sense na it's solving a problem. If they were to craft something like that, na 3D pa siya, ang mahal nun.
Yeah.
Will the SM pay for something like that? Baka they will, pero minimum wage. Kawawa naman yung tao, diba?
Yeah.
Pero yun nga, I'm sure naman yung editor or whoever made it understands rin naman the conflict of that. But at the same time, it's a job eh. Diba?
Speaking of jobs, do you think na because of AI's existence and overall yung generative AI, do you think it's one of the reasons more artists are being laid off because of AI?
Currently, yeah.
Than before? Ganon.
It's not necessarily because of AI. It's a reality. Economically, the world is not doing great.
Yeah. Poor.
Well, it's not we're poor.
Third world country.
It's not because we're third world country. There are a lot of socio-economic factors. Nag-economic ka rin, ah.
Eat the rich.
So there are a lot of socio-economic factors that's happening in the world right now. New presidents, looming wars. We don't have a lot of resources. So we have to cut down jobs. And the easiest jobs to cut down are creative jobs. Siyempre, food goes first, diba?
That's it.
Hierarchy of needs. Pagkain muna.
Pero sir, how would they market the food without artists?
If you're hungry, will you look for something marketable?
I look for something pleasing.
That's not true. I eat everything. So yeah, in our spiciest set of questions, we perceive AI as a very bad, like in general. Like, I mean, it could be or it can not be true, but like we still perceive it that way. So, have you used generative AI?
For referencing internal post-production work, yes.
That's crazy. I see.
Think of me differently now. Like, no problem. Okay.
Again, you have to think about it in a way that you're pressed for time, you have to solve a problem.
Yeah.
You have to use the tools available. Okay, sige. Ginamit ko nga siya for pre-production stuff. Pero hindi naman yun yung tatakbo eh.
Yeah.
We still have to get talents to fill that spot. We have to get actual voiceover talents to fill that spot. But we can use it as a jumping point, as a proof of concept to the client that it's going to look like this, but not necessarily. Quick story lang. So there was this guy before, he presented the client na ganito yung kakalabasan ng shoot niya, puro AI siya. Hindi nila ma-match kasi ang hirap i-match ng AI.
Yeah.
So you have to manage expectations pa rin.
Dang.
Hindi natin nakain.
Yeah. Sabi ka, you were busy yapping. So, ayun nga, sir. Just to wrap up, the final question is, so do you think, like, generative AI is, an inevitable step for, like, progression of humanity? No, of, like, just the creative industry. Like, yung mga photography, yung mga paintings, naging photography, and then so art. Is generative AI that's gonna be a thing that is not accepted right now, but will be in the future?
Well, based on yung readings ko, it's likely going to be part of your tool set. But it won't be the thing that would take your job away.
Yeah, I'll take my own jobs.
So yeah. Like when you're doing your animations, wouldn't it be nice if someone can DIP it for you?
Yeah, but like...
But you're still directing the color. You're still directing the...
Yeah, it just cuts down.
But it takes away the repetitive task. How do you just get a DIP?
Mas tedious pa yung cleanups.
Or would you like an AI to do cleanups for you?
No.
Ako, I would.
What?
Because it's so tedious. But again, yun nga, if that job gets eliminated, they will move on to better things.
Yeah.
Because they have the skill set naman eh. So what I'm telling you guys is, you have to, use these tools, but at the same time, you have to reinforce your fundamentals. You have to reinforce your artistic vision pa rin. Don't be afraid of it. Right now, I'll admit it's very scary. Like, what if this guy's gonna take away my work? So good. But nothing can take away the human vision pa rin. AI won't work without a person working on it, without a person releasing it, directing it. It can't do it by itself.
Yeah.
It's not autonomous. But we don't know the future. If it becomes sentient, like the Terminators, yeah. Then I'll be like, yep, we're out of the job, guys. Terminators are here. The T-300.
Terminators are here, we're gonna die. Anyways, so that's the end of Nimo's Corner.
So fast. We didn't even get to eat it.
We can eat it right now while we...
While we wrap up.
Yeah.